want to welcome you all to this extraordinary evening. A very special honor is bestowed on us tonight. I don't know that many of you know this, but Benazir Bhutto and Nancy Pelosi have had a long, very close relationship for many, many years. Nancy Pelosi was very special to Benazir Bhutto when Benazir was in opposition, and it was very hard for anyone to meet with her in Washington. Nancy Pelosi's door was always open to her. After Benazir's assassination, Asif Ali Zardari, the president of Pakistan, urged the National Assembly of Pakistan to elect Dr. Mirza, Farmida Mirza, as the first female speaker of any parliament in the history of the Muslim world in honor of the friendship of Benazir Bhutto and Nancy Pelosi. It's extraordinary that she's here. She's been my friend since we were children in the Democratic National Committee many, many years ago. I think she's proving to be the most extraordinary speaker in our contemporary history, maybe in history. It's an honor to introduce Nancy Pelosi.
I want to congratulate ITVS for presenting this wonderful story of Benazir Bhutto to the world, and congratulate them on their presenting independent productions. I didn't realize I would be speaking this evening. I won't be long. But when I came in, I was physically struck by seeing the words on the screen, democracy is the greatest revenge, addressed to a joint session of Congress, 1989. I remember when Benazir Bhutto said those words so clearly. I was a relatively new member of Congress. I went in middle of '87, and here she was coming, this young head of state, a woman leader of a Muslim country, predominantly Muslim country. It was so thrilling for us. So thrilling, and I was so new that I didn't realize. I went to Speaker Foley and I said, he was the new speaker then. Speaker Foley, Benazir Bhutto is coming. I think that you should invite all of the women members to meet with her at lunch following the speech. Well, they had never invited a woman to anything there. That we were going to take over the whole lunch. Well, I said, well, you can invite the leadership, but I think that it would be the thrill of our lifetimes for the women members to have this opportunity. Of course, they did, and as would be appropriate for a visiting head of state, invited the leadership, which were all male, but they invited the women members too. There weren't that many of us at the time, so it wasn't like we crowded out the place. But it began a wonderful friendship of the women members of Congress with Benazir Bhutto, and for me personally as well. Any time she came as head of state or leader of the opposition, it was a thrill to see her. And sometimes when she'd come as leader of the opposition, you would be amazed at how informal she was and how unassuming and how just don't make a fuss she was, and here she was, this great leader in the world. But not only with me. Women members visited her in Codell's and the rest, and it built a relationship that is strong both in life and now in memory and in history. So that's our personal story. It's a pretty exciting association for us that I wanted to share with you. But of course, we're here to see the story of modern Pakistan, the story of Benazir Bhutto and the courage, imagine the courage that she had. But again, I come back to where I began, walking into this room, seeing her quote, and remembering that day in the Congress of the United States, where this outstanding young, very young, she was probably in her 30s, I think, at the time, young woman stood there and spoke to a joint session of Congress and to the American people and really the people of Pakistan at the same time. it really gave the rest of us there a great deal of courage and hope for the future. And I think her memory continues to do that. Thank you, Mark Siegel, for giving me the opportunity to share a few thoughts, not only of mine, but of my women colleagues in the Congress of the United States as well. Now let's see the show. Thank you.